Silica Fume concrete bridge decks are finished using the conventional bridge deck paving equipment. The concrete is normally pumped onto the deck. Note the S at the end of the pump hose to prevent entrained air losses. The concrete placement is also kept close to the paver. This limits the time the concrete is left to evaporation prior to being finished. In this case, a pencil vibrator is being used to consolidate the concrete into place. A tining rake is being used to texture the bridge deck immediately behind the paver finishing. Pre-wetted burlap is then placed right behind the freshly tined deck surface. Don't worry, the texture will not be lost if the wet burlap is placed and not dragged over the fresh concrete surface. Hand finishing is only needed for the areas outside the reach of the paving machine. Laborers are continuously feeding the paving machine with the proper amount of concrete to allow the paver to do most of the work. When the paver is operating efficiently, the laborers have a relatively easy day. The one-pass or fast-track finishing techniques being shown here are quite common when placing and finishing high-performance concretes. The placing and finishing steps are condensed with paver finishing, tine texturing, and curing, immediately following one step after the other. If texturing will be saw cut into the deck later, place the wet burlap directly behind the paver. One-pass finishing means that the placement, finishing, texturing, and curing are followed immediately in succession. Most states recommend this sequence be completed and curing in place within 20 minutes after the concrete is deposited onto the deck. The wet burlap cure normally continues for a minimum of 7 days. Finishing silica fume concrete bridge decks can be a very economical process. Without delays in the finishing steps, the time to place and finish is very fast. The key element is to let the paver do most of the work and be prepared to apply wet curing immediately after the final finishing pass.